I'm back on my free-to-play account for July's Imaginarium Theater to give an overview of what to expect and give some advice on how to beat the bosses. After that, I'll break down my full playthrough of all 10 acts to give some ideas of how you can clear with all 10 stars too. As always, we're going to start by looking at what the bosses are. The first boss this time around is Coppelius. His main thing is he's going to get a cryo shield while his wife skates around the border of the arena and snipes you. The shield is very flimsy to pyro and electro, but also gets destroyed instantly by purple Ozha attacks. This will happen 3 times consecutively with a brief window to do damage in between, but you can end it early by hitting it with Ozha 3 times. He's got high cryo resistance, so it's a good idea to just go pyro on this guy. Coppelius is the less deadly of the couple, but if you're Chongyun, you might still want to watch out. The second boss is Suanni. The fight's main mechanic is that he'll occasionally infuse himself with Hydro, during which time if you hit him with Cryo and then shatter him, you'll get a brief window where he's downed. He'll also spawn these Animo balls that you want to explode with elemental attacks to down him. You can technically do this fight without Cryo, but it's a bit miserable, and he'll hit hard if you're in Bennett's circle, so watch out. The third boss is Ququsaur Tyrant. This is likely going to be the hardest boss of the run because unlike the overworld fight, he starts out by going into his Pyro Shield phase. Characters like Xingqiu, Yelan, or Farina are great because they can target him directly. He'll spawn these little pyro thingies which you'll want to destroy before he comes down to blow them up, which he'll still come down if you destroy them, and that's your chance to wear down his shield if you need to. The final boss is once again Secret Source Overseer. I have a new and profound hate for this boss now that it's in Stygian Onslaught to act as kind of a skirk check, but in Theater it's not so bad. You'll need a cryo character to keep its circle down or you're going to do 0 damage. Kaya is great at this, especially at C6, and Chongyun can help by infusing your normal attacks with cryo, and Layla is very good for off-field application. Diona and Charlotte are great for applying a lot of cryo in a short amount of time, but do not have the sustained application to work as your only cryo character for the fight. This is one of the cases where C6 Bennett actually does screw you over, so keep that in mind. I have to use a lot of trial characters this month, but they're mostly pretty good this time around. Here's the full list of characters I'm going to be using, and just like last time, I'll put their builds on screen when they're relevant. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get on to the run. I start off this run by buying Toma and upgrading Freeze twice. The second upgrade is a choice between a burst of AoE cryo or hydro damage when you do damage of the opposite type versus decreasing the enemy's resistance. I choose the red thread and choose to fight a bunch of robots for the highest reward. The team I land on uses the Trial Risley and Dahlia in addition to my own Child and Rosaria so that I can take full advantage of the freeze buffs I bought. When freeze works, it's really strong, so with the buffs I make quick work of that level. I pick Arlecchino for my stage reward, then a mystery cache brings the price of all character and reaction cards to 70 flowers. I level up Frozen one more time before heading into the next stage. It's a battle against a couple of pyro-infused lava dudes, so I bring the Trial Risley and Dahlia along with my Rosaria and Toma. Because Risley and Rosaria can melt everything against these guys, it's a very easy fight. Picking Nuvolette is a no-brainer since I want him for the Ququsaur Tyrant. Then I buy Kaniche to go along with my Toma and buy Escoffier. A free mystery cache also gives me Lanyan. And then I buy Silali, and it's time for the Coppelius fight. I wanted to use Kaniche against Coppelius for some reason, but it took a few tries because he can and will aim for the wrong robot if you don't manually hold his skill. I settle on the team of Kaniche, Toma, Lanyan, and Zhangling to keep burning up for Kaniche and have good off-field damage. I don't get a character for that because of my mystery cache, so instead I go and buy Dea. I get a couple mystery caches for more flowers and the ability to re-roll mystery cache cards. Then I also buy the first level of Melt, and now it's time for the tower defense stage. I choose the one against the Notland robots, since they spawn one at a time. Here I go with the Trial Liney, with triple interruption resist in the form of Sitlali, Lanyan, and Dea. Liney is very good here because his Cat in the Hat acts as a taunt to keep the enemies from attacking the monolith. This fight is slow and repetitive, so I won't bother showing the whole thing. Afterwards, Mona joins the team, and then I buy Bennett and another level of Melt. This time, the choice is between increasing the AoE and damage from the level 1 card, or increasing your own character's Melt damage. I choose the bigger blast. Next is a regular fight against a bunch of Ruin Guards and Graders. Again, I bring the Trial Liney, aided by Sitlali, Bennett, and Dea. It starts with 2 enemies, and every time you kill one, the next enemy spawns. It's an easy and straightforward battle since Sitlali enables a lot of buffed melts. That fight wore Sitlali out, but luckily I get a choice between 2 Cryo Shielders to replace her. I decide to go with Layla here. A mystery cache revives Liney and puts him back into the character pool. Hooray! I buy Charlotte, and a second mystery cache gives Kanich back his energy. How useful. It's time for the Suanni. I bring a team of Arlecchino, Charlotte, Layla, and Child. This team is surprisingly capable of enabling Arlecchino to get some really strong melts off, buffed even more by Child raising her normal attack level. He also uses his burst sometimes, I guess. Liney tries to sneak back into my character list, but I prefer Diona here. I upgrade Melts to level 3 before being given a frankly awful lineup of enemy choices. Compared to Pyrolectors and Wayobs, Fishops are the least bad choice. I decide to bring a freeze team for this one with Nuvalet, Mona, Layla, and Escoffier. This team ended up being super overkill, with Escoffier and Mona both enabling a lot of damage from Nuvalet. Trial Liney really wants to come back, but he doesn't have anything over my actually built Yoimiya. I buy Kaya and max out my Frozen card. It's a choice between buffing your Cryo or Hydro damage, and this time I choose to go Cryo. Now it's time for the Ququsaur Tyrant. I underestimated this guy in my first run, so I bring out the big guns of Nuvalet, Mona, Diona, and Escoffier. You cannot afford to take this boss lightly, because I still managed to get the star on this level even with the strongest team I can make at the moment. I finally get Farina, then buy Kokomi and max out Melt. The choice this time is enemy Res Shred when you trigger Melt, or doing an extra AoE blast. I like the Res Shred a lot, so it's an easy choice. It's time for the bounty level against a bunch of robots. I go with the team of Kanich, Bennett, Shangling, and Kaya. Kanich feels really flimsy without a shield, especially when you're surrounded by enemies. And one thing to watch out for is if a Ruin Grader ever takes off running, you just need to reset on the spot. This team is really strong, so I clear with plenty of time left and get Ayaka and Xingqiu just in time for the last boss. I go in with a team of Ayaka, Farina, Charlotte, and Xingqiu to take full advantage of my maxed out freeze reaction. If you can apply enough cryo, this fight is really easy since the boss just sits there. It's honestly really boring and not very good design in my opinion. The boss dies very easily, and I get to watch the credits roll with all 10 stars in my pocket. Thanks for watching. I hope this guide was able to help. I noticed while editing that this run used a lot of 5-star characters. With Dahlia's release, there are now a whopping 4 Hydro 4 stars, so it's by far the most premium element. That might make this rotation a bit rough, especially with a Ququsaur King, but it should be manageable if you save your Xingqiu or Farina for that boss. There's never a guarantee that you'll run into the exact same enemy lineups I faced, but the type of battles will be the same. This time I also tried cutting out a lot of fight footage while leaving in the basic team rotations, though for the most part they're pretty simple. Nothing as weird as the Sino and Kajing Superconduct Aggravate team from last month. You might also notice that my characters are a bit higher level than last month. I can't lie, Stygian Onslaught put the fear of God into me, so I finally leveled up a bunch of characters I use a lot. I'll be doing a video on that game mode soon, so look forward to that.